everyone, I'm Bonnie Krebs and I'm here to show you how to watercolor this beautiful hydrangea set. So this is a scrapbook.com exclusive made just for them. So it is only available on their website, but it is available right now. So you can run over there and get it. Also is available is this little poinsettia set. So these are big, beautiful images that are super easy to color. So you can use your Copics and you can use your colored pencils, of course, but you can also color them really quickly and easily by using markers. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So I've chosen a few markers here, 5. So I've got a purple and a blue and 3 greens, and then all I need is a brush and water. And that's all I'm going to need to color this beautiful image. So I've placed my stamp onto my platform, my stamp platform, and I'm just going to ink it now in a few colors here. So I'm going to start out with the green, and I'm just going to ink the leaves. So you can see on here where the leaves are and just go over those. It's okay if you don't get them perfectly. Just kind of get it in the right vicinity. And use the side of your marker and just get that color on there. Make sure you're getting enough color on here. Get the stems on here just like this. And let's go over to this section. Okay, that looks good. So let's move on now to the blooms. Oops, one more here. This little area, forgot this little leaf. Okay, just like that. And now we're going to go over to the blooms, and I'm just using a purple, kind of a bright purple. And I'm just getting all the blooms here. And this is, you know, meant to be quick and easy, so don't stress out about this. If you don't get it perfectly, it's okay. Watercolor is pretty loose and pretty forgiving. And when we go to add water to it, it actually all blends together, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And you can see I'm really getting plenty of color on here, so I'm going back over it a couple of times just to make sure I've got plenty of ink, especially in these areas in the center. And then I'm just going to hit it again, especially in the centers, you know, where these little blooms are. I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of this blue. This is just a dark blue. And I'm just getting a little mix of color. So now I'm going to turn this around, my stamp platform around, and stamp it on my watercolor paper. So that's really important that you're using watercolor paper, not cardstock. Cardstock is not going to give you the same effect. Now that I've got my image stamped onto my watercolor paper, I'm ready to start painting. And I'm going to do that with a brush and water. So this is all we need for the next step. We're going to start out just by pulling the color from the lines. And you can start with the leaves or you can start with the little blooms. And just work your way all around. Try to leave some white spaces. As you're going around, leave some white spaces on the edges of the blooms. That's kind of where the light would be hitting it. So if you think about these little blooms, they're going to be darker in the center than they are on the edges. So just kind of drag your brush around. And you can see that I'm pinching my brush off every time I dip it into the water. We don't want to get too much color on here to where you kind of lose those lines. So just keep doing this process where you're dragging the color out of the lines, keeping the color the darkest in the center, and just kind of work your way around. And actually what you're doing is just kind of dabbing. You're just kind of dabbing at all these little blooms. So I'm just kind of using the side of my brush, not, you know, spearing it like this, but just kind of working my way around. And especially in these little areas where you can see it goes way back inside this flower, that's going to be really dark in there. Okay, you can see this is kind of starting to come to life. And then head over to the other side and do the same thing. So fast and easy. And you can do these with, you know, change out the colors. Make a blue hydrangea. I just love this purple so much. And don't stress about it, you know. This whole process is made to be so quick and easy that you can do it in just a few minutes. And just work your way around. Leave those white spaces, that's so important. And try to stay in each section. Don't take your brush and just kind of cross over these lines. Try to stay in each little area so that you're not losing. We don't want to lose the lines. We just kind of want to blend it all together. This is so fun. Let's keep going. And I think coloring like this, I think it's pretty relaxing because sometimes the stressful part of a card is the coloring. I don't know why that is, but I think we focus too much on staying in the lines, and then, you know, sometimes you can spend an hour coloring it and then hating it at the end. So there's no fun in that. And actually that's pretty stressful. So this way, there's no stress involved. Stamp the image, you know, ink it with your markers, stamp the image, and then drag the color out of the lines. Super easy. Okay, so let's go on to the leaves now, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna pull this color out of the lines. Just drag it over to the center, and again, leave some white spaces. Same with these little stems, little branches. Just drag it out. I just love the look of watercolor too. It's so soft, and it's, you know, cards like this are really good for any occasion. When you don't know what exactly to say, or you don't know for that specific person exactly what to send. Something like this, just perfect. Okay, that looks good. So I'm gonna add some more color now to this. I'm gonna add a bright green. And just add a little more color to the leaves. Just brush it on. And I'm still, you can see I'm still pinching my brush off. And don't worry about this part, just put it on there. Brush it on. And I think I'm gonna add a little more of this color too. So you can mix up these greens easily. This is kind of a little darker color. I'm just kind of putting it down here on the bottom where maybe it would be a little more shadow. And back in here, these little branches that might be farther in the distance. Okay, that looks good. So I'm gonna add some blue now. I'm gonna take my dark blue, and it looks kind of like purple, but it's more of an African violet. And I'm just gonna add some of this color in the centers of these little blooms. You know, we said earlier that that's where it's gonna be darker. And so I wanna add some of this darker. And the whole goal of this really is to make this look like a little painting, not a stamp, but also to do it quick and easy. So, you know, if you love to color, coloring is your thing and it's your therapy and you just love it, by all means, you know, some of the most amazing, you know, people that create these cards use their alcohol markers and use all sorts of mediums. Some of them on our design team are just incredible. But I have to do things quick and easy. And that's what I love about this is I can make this card in no time. Okay, so I've got some darker centers in there. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to now add a little color to the background, and I'm going to just start out first by pulling some of this color out to the outside. So I'm just gonna kind of follow these lines around, drag some of this color out, and let it just kind of bleed out into the background. So it creates a really nice background, almost like a halo effect, and just gives us a little more depth. And this is, you know, this part's optional. You don't necessarily need to do this, but I just love kind of that faded out, soft look. And I think I'm gonna take maybe some light blue like this one, and just add a little bit now to the background. just to add a little more interest in here. So fast. Just brush it in. And you can see I'm really just pushing the color around. I'm actually not doing any brush strokes. I'm just kind of placing the color and then just kind of pushing it around. And there we go. I can add a little of this in here too. And we have our card finished and ready to mount on a card base and give away. So I have now taken my watercolor and mounted it in a card, and it's ready to give away to make someone's day. So head over to scrapbook.com. These are available right now. It's the Hydrangea Set, the exclusive one from Art Impressions. And thanks so much for watching.